Hello and welcome. And welcome to this meditation for those of us in California, the morning meditation. And the small, or short at least, maybe big, short and very significant teaching that I want to offer you here as we start, that I think encapsulates something very significant about what Buddhism offers and what it points to. And that is, never give up on yourself. Never give yourself away to ill will and hatred and greed. Don't give yourself away to anxiety or fear. Never give up on your wholeness. Never give up that there is a way of being free. There is a way of letting our good heart, our wholesome heart, be a refuge and a support for ourselves. Never give up on oneself. And it's almost as if there's two different worlds we can live in, and it's a choice that we can make, even if it's just a small step. There's the world that we live in when we have in some ways given up on ourselves or given ourselves away to attachments, to fears, to ways of being which are not so healthy for us. And there's a whole different world we live in a world that we see, when we don't divide the world, we don't give parts of ourselves away, we don't narrow our focus on conceit or fear, but rather a world where we see it all. We're not giving ourselves away and getting caught only in what is difficult about it, what is great about us and wholesome, and not what is unwholesome or unhealthy. To wake up, the world of waking up, is a world where we see the whole, all of it. And we stand in the middle, present and aware, not giving ourselves away to any of it. Seeing it all, the whole, and from there, having what's the best in us respond to this world of ours. It's like having two different worlds. And so we sit to meditate, to step into the awakened world, even if it's very small little steps of showing up, of being mindful, of recognizing what's happening in the moment, but to recognize it with a calm recognition, to sense and be present for our experience, but to find that place where we can be present calmly. Calmly meaning not swept away, not reactive to what's happening. So this world where we wake up to all of who we are and all of what the world is, not sugarcoating it, not with blinders on, but a whole that allows the best of ourselves to inform how we go forward. So to begin, with thinking about your meditation posture as sitting down, laying down, standing if you're doing standing meditation, to think of it as the center of the world, certainly center of your world. And you're going to take your full place, your rightful place, here at the center of it all. To be aware, to be awake. And so the posture of meditation is an enactment of standing, sitting in the middle of this awakened world, whole world. And gently closing your eyes and taking some long, relaxing, deep breaths. Enjoyable breath, just deep enough to still be enjoyable. And on the exhale, settling, grounding yourself here, in this body, in this place, in the center of your world. And letting your breathing return to normal. Continue as you exhale to soften and relax in the body. To relax and soften in a way that's settling and grounding. Each exhale a reminder that you're taking your place at the center of the world. Maybe with the breathing itself being the center of the center, or the place your inhale begins and exhale ends, deep in your torso, at the center of the center of the center. That yes, here, take your place, not giving up on yourself, not assuming, living that there's anything inherently wrong or about yourself or inadequate about you. You don't have to then replace it with the idea that there's something right about you. Both those ideas are not needed when you stand in the middle of it all, awake. And as you exhale, relax the thinking mind, soften. And then to settle in to the body breathing, where the birth and the passing of the world happens with each inhale and exhale. Each inhale, you're born into this world, at the center of this world. Awake and aware of the present moment, without needing to divide it or judge it. Give yourself away to hostility or judgment or criticism, to greed or desire and wanting. Each inhale, the world is born with you awake. Each exhale, letting everything go. not giving yourself away to your thinking. Rather, place yourself here in your direct experience of now, to wake up, to be aware of it all, without losing your calm, your center in the midst of this world. With each exhale, letting go of any way that you have given up on yourself or given yourself away. And in every exhale, show up anew, as if you're stepping into a new world with all your senses ready to take in the whole. As we come to the end of this sitting, to consider that the more fully we're present for all of who we are. The wholesome, the unwholesome, the healthy, the unhealthy. But we're present for all of it, calmly, harmoniously, not giving ourselves away to anything, any of it. There's more of us available to say hello to someone, to ask them how they are, to smile, to offer some good words, to do a small service. The ways in which we care for others in the world carries more value if we bring all of ourselves to it. I learned in Buddhism sometimes to hand a gift to someone, even as small a cup of tea, with two hands, not with one hand, not with one hand while looking elsewhere, but to really two hands to bring all of ourselves here. So may it be that our ability to sit in the middle of the world, awake to all of it, that our way to care for the world is more complete, more whole, with more offered in the fullness of our being. May it be that this practice that we do supports us in how we can care for our world. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. Thank you. So hello and welcome to this series of talks on the Eightfold Path, and sometimes called the Noble Eightfold Path. Sometimes I translate it for myself as the Dignified Eightfold Path, that we sit with a certain kind of dignity, value, as if we're worthwhile or worthy. And this dignity of the Dharma, of the Eightfold Path, a lot of it comes from our capacity to be aware of ourselves and the world with a wholeness, a holism, holistically, everything included. And that's a means by which we start living the goal of the practice. The goal is to be free in the middle of everything. and learning how to be free in the middle of ourselves and our challenges, our attachments, our reactivity, by standing tall, metaphorically, and being yes. Not yes that we agree with things, but yes, this is the whole works. This is the whole. This is what I'm waking up to. And the value of this waking up to the whole is we can see clearly then what is healthy and unhealthy in how we operate and what goes on in the mind and the heart. And we can see it clearly without being judgmental or diminishing ourselves or undermining ourselves or feeling bad about ourselves. We don't give ourselves, and without giving ourselves away to any one thing, without kind of selecting part of the whole in which to get lost in or to be narrowed by, caught in, but the whole. And in doing that, to see that there is suffering and there's the absence of suffering, the freedom from it, side by side. To see that there is ways in which we do get caught, to do give ourselves away, but we see it side by side with how we don't do it. There's space, there's stillness, there's openness, there's non-reactivity next to the reactivity. Maybe that the non-reactivity, the spaciousness, is actually bigger than any way in which we're preoccupied or caught by anything at all. And so that's what the first part of the Eightfold Path is, right view, is to have a view, a holistic view of it all. And in doing that, we understand that being caught, being to cling, to be reactive, narrows the scope, that's a way we lose ourselves. We give ourselves away in a certain way. And we regain ourselves by having an awareness that can include it all. And this awareness that can include it all, I think of as what is most sacred in Buddhism. That there's nothing that's considered undesirable, unwanted, or for the purposes of being aware. What's most phenomenal is this open, spacious, expansive awareness that has a capacity to recognize and see everything without being caught by it. Just see it. And that a lot means that we no longer get caught by greed, hatred, and illusion. We don't get caught by ill will and hostility and sensual desires. We're more oriented, the second fold of the Eightfold Path, to holistic orientation. Be oriented towards freedom from sensual desire, more oriented towards freedom from ill will, freedom from hostility, kindness, goodwill, compassion. And then with that orientation then, it begins then to guide us in how we live our lives and how we live our social lives. In the whole world that we live in, that we sit in the middle of our own whole world, is, in a big part, is a social world. One way or the other, we live in dependence, live in relationship to all the many people that sustain us, support us, connect with us. There's immediate family perhaps, or friends perhaps, but there's a whole field of people who provide us with food and bring the food to the stores so we can eat. I'm very grateful for the people who are stocking the shelves in the supermarket for me, who are there helping me check out. They're an important link for me to be able to feed my family. And I'm grateful for that link. I'm grateful for what they make possible. And so we live in the social world. And so when we have this orientation towards non-harm, towards non-hostility, non-ill will, that shapes how we speak. And so the third fold, the Eightfold Path, the third fold that we're unfolding to open up to the wholeness that's tucked away in all these folds, is holistic speech. To speak from that sense of whole, that's inclusivity at all, that gives us this orientation to a whole healthy possibility of being in the world, a way that keeps us whole, a way. So if we tell lies, it's very hard to tell a lie without clinging or resisting or shutting down or disrespecting or shutting out the hearts of others. And so this holistic mode, its orientation is not to limit itself. We don't limit and hurt ourselves. So we don't lie. There's no malicious speech. We don't speak in ways that harm other people, that creates divisiveness and harm and hurts people. And because if we do that, we're clinging to something. We're actually limiting ourselves. We're giving ourselves away. Even though it seems like we're really ourselves, really powerful, and really, our anger really exists. That's who now I really know that I'm here. It can feel that way. And that's one of the reasons why people give themselves over to hostility and to judgment and criticism, because it feels like they're being empowered, or they're really existing. They are someone now. But in fact, from the holistic point of view, we've lost ourselves. We've given up on ourselves. And so the holistic view lends itself to avoid malicious speech, harmful speech. And then also to avoid harsh speech. Harsh also is speech which has a kind of sting in it, has a way in which it's kind of painful to hear. And it might not exactly be kind of a formal hostility, malicious speech, but just a tone of voice is so sarcastic or so intense or so hot and fiery and pointed. The Buddha talks about people having knives in their tongues. Maybe in the modern world we say bullets in our tongues. The words are the arrows, the words are the bullets that come off our tongue. So to not speak harshly, but to speak kindly, to speak in a way that is pleasant to hear and supportive to hear and relaxing to hear for other people. And the fourth aspect of this speech in terms of holistic speech is it's a little hard. We don't really quite know how the Pali means, but don't talk frivolously. Don't talk kind of mindlessly in a way that loses touch with others, loses the human connectivity, the wholeness that's there. You can certainly have idle chatter. Sometimes this one's called no idle chatter. But there can be idle chatter that actually makes us feel very connected. It's a way of kind of finding our way and being connected in a simple, light-hearted way that can feel very good. But nothing frivolous, nothing mindless, where we lose that connection both to ourselves and to others. So in this holistic speaking, so what you're seeing here is that how we speak, what this third factor of the Noble Eightfold Path is clearly informed by the holistic view and the holistic orientation. And this points to how important it is to practice. The Eightfold Path was primarily, it rose in the Buddha's mind, not because he knew how to do it before he was enlightened, but it arose in the Buddha's mind after he was awake, that he understood that this view, this orientation, leads to how we live in this world actively, fully, not disconnected from the world, not disconnected from ourselves, but live in the world free and fully here. And there's no need to diminish ourselves or belittle ourselves or apologize for ourselves, as there's no need to assert ourselves or have conceit or to champion ourselves in some kind of selfish way. The middle way between self-denial and self-assertion is to be fully present with all of who we are. And doing that, then, when we speak words which are true, speak words which are supportive and healing and beneficial, uniting people, when we speak words that are soothing and settling and relaxing and trustworthy in tone, and when we speak words that are said mindfully or clearly, those words are being broadcast from a very clear signal, very clear broadband, very clear, like fully there, where they convey so much more than what the words mean. They convey this wholeness, this completeness, as if I'm whole and you can be whole, like I'm fully here. If we diminish ourselves in any kind of way, then the words don't carry as much strength. If we speak with a lot of self-assertion, we also kind of diminish the other people and they don't hear. But to be fully present in our fullness, wholeness, and then speak with others, and have our speech be truthful, healing and unifying, kind and gentle, and meaningful. This is the way that the Eightfold Path arises from deep within. It's not something we have to assume or believe we're supposed to do, but we have the evidence for how important this is because we've become awake to the wholeness of who we are, and we know for ourselves how good it is, how natural it is to speak holistically, whole speaking, holistic speaking. The third step, third unfolding of the Eightfold Path. And then tomorrow it's right action, which also, that right action, what I'm saying this week is a holistic action, which is one more way to keep unfolding the way we've been folded up, so we become freer and freer in how we live our life in this world. So thank you very much, and may you pay attention to your speech today. May your speech come out of your whole. Thank you.